The Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Sirinthip Pengprasittipong. Chapter 25. Huck questioned Tom and Becky meeting. Before sunrise on Sunday morning, Huck tapped at the old witch man's door. A call came for a window. Who there? Only Huck Finn. That name that can open this door night or day. Welcome. This was thankworth to the ear on vagabond boy, and the prettiest he has ever heard. The door was quickly unlocked, and the old man and his sons speedily dressed themselves. Now, my boy, I hope you are hungry, because breakfast will soon be ready. The boy and I hope that you would stay here last night. I was terrified, said Huck, and I ran their mine without stopping. I came now because I want to know about it, and I came before daylight because I didn't want to come across that devil, even if they were dead. No, they are not dead, Huck. We fired at them, but they got away in the dark. Then we put the police on their track. A description of the children would help a great deal. Did you see what they were like? Yes, when the deaf and dumb Spaniards that been around. He won on twice, and the other is a misty-looking rag. The deaf and dumb Spanish talking. Well, never mind now. We know the man. I came across them in the wood at the back of the window house one day, and they kept away. Off you go, boys, and tell the sheriff. At the rich man's son were having the room. Huck sprang up and cried, "Oh, please don't tell anybody, and I told you about them. Oh, please, my boy, don't be afraid of me. I wouldn't hurt a hair of your head for the world. No, I did protect you. Why are you so frightened of that man? What do you know about them? That Spain is not deaf and dumb. Do you know who he is? Now turn me. I won't betray you." Huck looked into the old man's honest eyes for a moment, and then bent over to whisper in his ear, "I isn't Spanish. It's Redskin Joe. In this case." The old man almost jumped on his chair. "It's all plain enough now. When you told me of the Nip business, I judged that it was your own fancy. Because Bennett don't take that sort of revenge." During breakfast, the talk went on. The old man said that before going to bed, and his son had got a limp and had eczema. He paced near the fence for signs of blood. They found nothing but better of what? The word had left to Huck's lips. He waited busily for an answer. He watched man start in return, then repeat. "Thief tools." Huck sank back, infinitely grateful. The well man eyed him cautiously, and then said, What were and expecting we found?" Huck did not know you escorts to make. Then a senseless reply came into his head. There was no time to consider it. So he said vaguely, "Sunday school books, perhaps." The old man roared with laughter, but poor Huck was too troubled to smile. "Poor fellow, you look pale," said the old man. "You are not well. I'm not surprised that you are a bit queer. Rest and sleep are what you need." Huck was annoyed to think that he had been such a false and pretentious a species, and excitement. Just at breakfast, whatever, there was a knock at the door. Huck quickly hid, for he had not decided to be connected with the event of the previous night. The wellman admissible ladies and gentlemen, among them the window darkness. The wellman has to tell the story of the night to the visitor. The window expressed her his gratitude for her preservation. Don't think me, madam, but for another who won't allow me to give his name, my boys, and I would never have been there. Of course, his course took it cautiously of visitor with later speed it in the town, for the old man refused to reveal his secret. There was no Sunday school during the holiday, but everybody was early at class and his thing happening. All Cardiff Hill were thoughtfully discussed. News came that no sign of the villain had yet been discovered. When his service was finished, Judith Thatcher, which came up in Mr. Harper, and she was moving. Mrs. Harper, as he was moving down the class with the cow, and said, "Is my Becky going to sleep all day? I expect that she would be tried out." "Your Becky?" "Yes," with a stern look. "Didn't she stay with us last night?" "Why, no." Mrs. Thatcher turned pale and sank into a seat just as Aunt Polly, talking with a friend, passed by. Aunt Polly said, "Good morning, Mrs. Thatcher." "Good morning, Mrs. Harper. Tom missing. He stayed with one of last night, I expect, and now he afraid to come to class." Mrs. Thatcher shook her hand vaguely and turned pale ever. "He didn't stay with us," said Mr. Harper, beginning to look uneasy. An actual expression came into Aunt Polly's face. She then were questioned and the Sunday school teacher. They all said that they had not known whether Tom and Becky were on the ferry boat and on homeward trip. No one had to inquiring whether anyone was missing. One young man duelessly expressed his fear that they were still in his cave. Mrs. Thatcher went away. Aunt Polly stepped weeping. The arms were forced to stitch. Within 5 minutes, the bells of the class were ringing ready. Horses were saddled. The ferry boat was ordered out. In half an hour 200 men were pushing down the main road on the river toward the cave. All the long afternoon the village seemed dead. All the wisdom night to town was actually forenoon. But when the morning came at last, the only message from the cave was, "Send more cattle and food." Mr. Thatcher was almost mad for grief. In Aunt Polly also. The old man came home toward midnight, almost worn out. He found Huck in bed in a raging fever. The doctors were all at the cave, so the widow darkness took charge of the patient. She said they would do her less for him, whether he was good for bed, because 2 human beings should at negligent. Before midday Peters of exchange, he returned to the village, but the Stonegate village continued searching. All the news that could be gained. And the news that could be again. What that the dependent of the cave were behind examined. What whenever, wherever. One wondered do the passage light could be seen and shoot and pistol shot heard that the mean. Becky and Tom Then it called smoke had been found. A rocky one from the path usually visited by tourists. That dreadful days, a night darkest by at the village sank into despair.